Hey everyone, welcome back and welcome if you're new to the channel. Thanks for clicking on this video. I just want to talk about players that could still be traded in 2021. So for the rest of the offseason going into the new season and potentially mid-season if a trade is to happen. We'll obviously make videos during the season on the trade deadline when that comes around, but a lot still more to come. We're in August right now, September preseason, then October, the new season. So let's look at some players that I believe could be traded before the season even starts or just a little bit into it. Again, welcome if you're a new subscriber, and definitely leave your thoughts in the comment section. So let's start with a couple players on the New York Rangers. So Ryan Strome, there's been a lot of rumors. He's in around $4.5 million on the last year of his contract, and Alexander Georgiev. I think there's other deals that could happen with the Rangers from now until the start of the season or even into the season. I think it really depends on how the Rangers do in that Metro Division. I think they're going to have a really tough time. I'm still waiting for that big move the Rangers should make and potentially will make. There's been a lot of rumors around Strome being dealt either now or before the deadline. Especially, I mean, if the Rangers are not in a playoff spot, they will most likely deal Strome. The Georgiev situation is definitely questionable. I think you have two rumors that were floating around, one being that Georgiev did request a trade. I don't know the legitimacy of that, but the other rumor being that Georgiev is fine with being the tandem with Shesterkin. And if that is the reality, if that is the situation, I think the Rangers run with it. I think it's really good to have a really good 1-2 punch. And I think if you have a Shesterkin-Georgiev tandem going into the year, you're feeling confident. But obviously, if Georgiev requested a trade and teams are going to give up a decent amount, I think the problem was that the Rangers were wanting a lot for Georgiev over the last year, and teams are just not biting. So we'll see. I would put the probability of Ryan Strome being traded up there if the Rangers are not in the playoff spot by the deadline, but I could even see him being dealt sooner if it means a big deal. All right, the Toronto Maple Leafs. So Alexander Kerfoot for me is the big one right now at a $3.5 million cap hit. Very versatile, played really well in the playoffs, and I think at the cap hit, it's really reasonable for a lot of teams. So between Kerfoot, Mikheyev, Engvall, and Dermott, I think two of those guys are most likely going to be dealt, whether it's before the season or in season. I would imagine at least two of those guys get dealt. So we'll see what happens. I have Riley in this picture. Sandin ain't getting dealt. I actually have a Sandin video coming out soon, but Riley, it would suck. But if you get a huge return for Riley, then you consider it. But I think you try to re-sign Riley if, this is a big if he doesn't fit in that category of what these other defensemen are getting. I think the Leafs management and I think Leaf fans got really nervous after seeing that Darnell Nurse contract, because you could make arguments that Riley's not really in the conversation with guys like Makar and Seth Jones and Werenski and go like after that, right? After a rough season especially. So I think after that Nurse contract, then you're like talking 8+ for Riley, and I don't know if that's worth it, right? If you can get Riley to get a little bit of a hometown discount, get him closer to 7, that might be worth it for the Leafs. But between Kerfoot, Mikheyev, and Engvall, especially those three guys, I think at least one or two of them get dealt. All right, the Blue Jackets, they've made a lot of great moves. I think Kekalainen has a big W next to his name for this offseason, A+ in my opinion, and maybe they make a couple more moves. I think they're waiting to see what they can get offered from other teams for Korpisalo. I know Edmonton was interested there for a bit. And Max Domi, he's coming off an injury. He probably won't be ready until a month or two into the season. So that might be a wait and see. So Max Domi could still be traded in 2021, but they're going to probably wait unless the team gives them a good offer. So it depends. The mindset depends with Kekalainen's thinking. If Domi just wants out and they just want to move on from it and not have to deal with it in a few months, then they'll just do it now. But it could become an asset that becomes more valuable closer to the deadline if he comes back from injury and shows well with Columbus. And as I said, Korpisalo could be a good 1B situation for a lot of teams. I think he does provide a lot of value. All right, Jake DeBrusk. So I know Bruins fans, a lot of Bruins fans want this guy dealt and are frustrated with his lack of performance in the playoffs. And they brought in guys like Foligno, Hulla. So they don't really need a DeBrusk unless he changes it and turns it around. But I think for a guy like Jake DeBrusk, he could get dealt, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happens before the season starts. All right, so there's a bunch of guys from the Ducks that could get traded. I think it really depends also on how they do in that Pacific Division. I think there's been a lot of rumors around Adam Henrique, Josh Manson, Rickard Rakell, even Lindholm, even John Gibson. I don't know if that trade goes down, but I would put the likeliness high for at least one of Henrique, Manson, or Rakell being dealt, so look out for that. The Henrique cap hit is not easy for teams to take on, but Manson and Rakell, They only got a year left, I believe. I know Manson for sure at that $4.1 million cap hit has a year left. So a lot of teams, right shot defenseman, big, throws the hits. I know a lot of teams will be looking at it. Just wanted to mention this also. I was supposed to say this at the start of the video. Sorry for the video quality maybe being a little bit lower. I'm on my laptop, obviously on vacation, so don't got all my equipment with me, so just wanted to put that out there. All right, Nashville Predators, Philip Forsberg, Matthias Ekholm. There's been some rumors that GM David Poile has reached out to the representatives of both the players to see if an extension could be in the works. So for both players on the last year of their deals, I could see either one being dealt, especially if Nashville midseason is out of a playoff race, but we'll see if a team maybe goes aggressive as the season gets closer. All right, Tarasenko. So now there's rumors that Tarasenko could start the year with the Blues. And, I mean, that's really interesting. I mean, $7.5 million cap hit, a guy that wants out of St. Louis, wants a new scenery. And I think for a guy that could potentially start the season with St. Louis, he's going to have to show really well. I think that's kind of the hesitancy from a lot of teams, right? That $7.5 million cap hit, coming off a couple injuries. Is this a guy that's going to perform at the Tarasenko level that he has in the past? Probably not. But if he can still perform at a top 6 level, maybe a few teams have the cap space, or if St. Louis retains a little bit or another contract going back the other way, I could see a Tarasenko trade still going down in 2021. All right, Christian Dvorak, I think this one's really likely. I think Arizona, we've seen the movement. They've been making a lot of moves. And I do think that Dvorak probably will be the next one to go. I mean, unless there's a couple minor deals, but the big one to go down for Arizona will probably be Dvorak next. And I know there's some rumors that Montreal was interested. A bunch of teams that could use the top 6 player, specifically he can play center, right? So I think there's a lot of value in that. You can also play the left wing. So I could see Dvorak, and I actually like Dvorak a lot. I think whoever gets Dvorak is going to get a really good player at a really reasonable cap hit. All right, Evander Kane, we know the situation with him. We'll see what happens. I think there's 2 scenarios here where Evander Kane gets dealt or somehow like contract terminated, just doesn't, like, is not a San Jose Shark anymore, or San Jose keeps him, which I don't know where the benefit there would, or like they keep him and they just move out guys like Hurdle and Carlson. Like, there's heavy rumors that a lot of players do not want to return for a season. That includes Evander Kane on the San Jose Sharks. So there's a lot of drama here. I probably should have made a video, but obviously, like I said, I was on vacation and I've been on vacation and I'm just trying to take a little bit of a step back, but coming back for the season coming up, and I'll do a lot of content in September. So we're going to talk about this Evander Kane situation a lot more. And right now, I would say he's one of the more likely big name players to potentially be dealt. And the last big name player potentially be dealt is Jack Eichel. I'm laughing because we've been waiting for time for this deal to go down. And Kevin Adams is being really patient with this one. And obviously the situation with his injury and the doctor and the surgery and all that. So we'll see what happens with Jack Eichel, but I would still say it's really likely this guy gets traded in 2021. I'd be shocked otherwise. Even if he was to like start the season or something, or the surgery goes down, I still think by 2022, like, this guy will be in a New Jersey. So let me know what you guys think. How many of these players do you think will get traded? I would say at least 1/3 of these players will get dealt over the next year. At least. I would be shocked otherwise. So there's some names here and some decent names, and I'm excited to see where these guys go. So hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know if anything went wrong. Sorry again, don't have my equipment, so quality not the best, and honestly just picking it up and just making a quick video. So maybe audio is not the best, maybe quality is not the best, but making a video and getting my thoughts out there. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next video or stream. Peace.